broke out, a kid got choked out, blows were thrown, and a fucking fight broke out. Coming out like a motherfucker. The nigga was amped, like, come on, motherfucker. Can't we just all get along so I can put piggies on her chest like little Sean? Get a busy drunk on my...
It's just awkward, but I like, you know. I guess if you have a food fetish. Good job, Bob.
Alright guys, hey, I'm back here at Granite Barbell in Campbell, New York with owner Brett Somerville, head coach. Today we're just going to he moved in a new facility, so we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit, go over his coaching philosophy, and just kind of see where things are. I want to check back in with some of the gyms I've been to already. So you guys moved into a new facility, a lot bigger.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
It was great. We went from 800 square feet to 4,200 square feet, relatively short time. Got a whole bunch of new equipment, new toys to play with. Starting to take on trainers to help out with the flow of clients and everything like that. So it's been a real good transition.
So you're hiring trainers? Do you have a intern program or? Yeah,
kind of. Like it's kind of neat. I had a couple guys that have been with me since day one. They got good results. I had them write their own 8-week programs to kind of learn the process, kind of see what happens with that, and they're great to fill in every once in a while when I'm in a pinch or overflow. So it's been going pretty good.
Awesome. I noticed when I came in, you were training 2 women. You said you were getting ready for a contest. What contest is that?
Lift for Autism.
Okay.
Great charity. It's a 100% charity show. And I think it's a really good beginner show for someone, and you have the charity along with it. It's a win-win.
Who throws that competition?
Nick Angles.
Nick Angles? Okay. Yep. Where's that located?
Walk Hill, New York.
Nice. When is that?
April 8th, I believe.
April 8th. Good. So if you're in the area, you want to do a contest, a good first one, and do, work with charity, check that one out. I think, is that NAS or is that USS?
It's now USS.
It's USS.
Yep,
so
USS.
UnitedStatesStrongman.com, you can check that out. So you've been coaching a lot of people in strongman. Obviously I noticed out there baseball is your first passion.
Yeah.
But there's a huge strongman element. It is pretty much a strongman gym for the most part. What other kind of training do you offer besides the sports and the strongman?
To be honest with you, most of my clients really don't come here for strongman and strongwoman.
Yeah.
It's something where maybe we do a keg run one day.
Yeah.
Or we do something with a log, and they're like, "Wow, what is this all about?" And then what we do is we just rewrite the program, throw in more implements, and like you saw, I had a 60-year-old male in here.
Yeah.
Doing keg runs. This morning I had a 60-plus-year-old female, doing duck walks. So really my clients really aren't here for strongman and strongwoman. It just kind of takes over once they see someone do something or, try and implement out for the first time. They kind of just catch the fever a little bit.
Okay. Are you still doing the strongman Saturdays though, where you do bring people in for a team?
That has the strongwoman strongman Saturdays on average 15 to 20 people.
Wow.
It's been it's the Saturdays, for me, and I love every day, don't get me wrong, but Saturdays for me, watching the turnout and having people come in, and that's where my clients really start bonding.
Yeah.
I know it sounds cheesy, but these are the same clients I have during the week where they don't really see each other. Then they come on Saturday and they find out, wow, I love the atmosphere. This person's actually a pretty cool person, and then they end up, training together.
So what's your training philosophy when you train a normal person versus a strength athlete, and then how do they differ and how are they the same?
Okay, I think where people mess up big time is they either try to take the coaching aspect of everyone's an athlete.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to compete at the highest level. Everyone's got to push everything every single day. And you know what? I just find that approach to be wrong. I'm going to train an athlete different than I train an everyday client.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm asking less from the everyday client. It's just that I modify things where, okay, well, maybe we don't have to have 100% intensity every time. You kind of ask them, how do they feel?
Yeah.
how was their work day? You know, how are things going? And you can kind of get that vibe and, you know, maybe curtail some things, maybe lighten some things, change some things to make that workout fun. Because an athlete goes into training knowing not every day is going to be fun, and they've accepted that. When you have your client that just wants to have a better life or play with their grandkids longer or have better energy, you know, their attitude's a little different. So you have to really kind of adapt yourself to each client.
When you're training a strongman for a competition, kind of what's your approach when you're putting together a program, and how do you sit there and look at the events and then put that onto a plan?
First, I look at them individually. Okay, what's their weakness? Are they weaker in the upper body? Are they weaker in the lower body? Are they tight in the hips and the glutes? Okay, so when you assess that, then you know what corrective and prehab stuff to put in. So that's where it differs. Then I usually take a 12-week approach.
Okay.
The first 6 weeks is like volume.
Yeah.
It's more or less volume. But it's trim the fat volume. It's not bullshit volume like we're going to throw tricep extensions just for shits and giggles and all that. It's volume that's going to help that specific athlete get better.
Okay.
So if that means they have to do some more rear delt raises because they have, you know, some shelf problems or getting into the rack position, it's just not a strong point for them, then I'll add that type of volume in.
Yeah.
Then weeks, you know, 3 to 6, those are the really intense, heavy. We trim the accessory work. We focus on the main movements. Then week 3, we kind of run through it.
Yeah.
Kind of run through, like, you know, if I have that client 3 days a week, you know, we try to get in maybe 3 days in a row, run the events like that. Then 2 weeks of kind of a basic deload, you know, the second week before, maybe some light. You know, if they're doing a yoke, maybe really light yoke just to keep the technique.
Yeah.
And then the week before is very simple, stretching, maybe a 135 workout, bench dead it, squat it, 95-pound workout for some, and you know, that's really about it.
Yeah, that's a good approach. I like to do I do 20 weeks out usually if I have the time, and they're, you know, obviously they're willing to work that long.
Yeah.
But 12 weeks, I think.
Oh no, I agree with you. I do 16 for the novice.
Yeah.
For the first time to go around, that's definitely 16 weeks.
Yeah.
For the competitor that's done it before,
Who's kind of in a perpetual.
kind of yes,
cycle.
yeah. I try and run the 12-week with them.
I've noticed. I think a lot of people know you for your deadlift.
Yeah.
You know, you're 800 plus deadlifter.
Yeah, I pulled 850.
Kind of what's your approach for deadlifts? I know that's a lift. This is me personally. Selfish question. What are your best tips for somebody trying to build their deadlift in, you know, any strengths?
I think exercise wise, believe it or not, the hip circle is what really turned it around for me.
Really?
I look at my old deadlift videos personally, and I'm like, holy crap, my hips are shooting up. I'm basically stiff legging it, you know, low back pain. So I found that, like, you know, through also my coach, Steve Trippi, you know, the hip circle, the X walks. Then I did a progression with the kettlebells.
Yeah.
Pause kettlebell squats, kettlebell swings. Then when we start getting toward the meat and taters of it, you know, maybe squatting before deadlifting to open up the hips.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, a squat that's like at 50%, you know, where you're doing some pause work, 2 to 3 reps, 8 to 10 sets, break it in. Then the deadlift itself. I think people, they're falling in love with wider stances because they're seeing the bigger guys go wider.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, listen, I mean, you're not 6'9", you're not 400. Like, you don't need that. You know, take a stance that's comfortable for you. That's the first part. Then it's teaching yourself how to stay tight in that bottom position. Okay? Drive your upper back is tight, the bar path is tight, you're driving your heels into the ground, and also the biggest mistake I see people do is they start their deadlift like they're in the bottom of a squat position, or 3/4 of the way down squat position.
Yeah.
So their butt's already down. Now you're losing how much hamstring power.
Yeah.
You can't drive your heels and your hamstrings when your butt's in that position as much as it's a drive position like that.
Yeah.
So with your ass parallel, you drive the heels, the ass will follow, the bar path is tight, upper back tight, it's a lot smoother of a pull, a lot more explosive. And so deadlifting is basically, in my opinion, hamstrings, glutes, upper back. And when you have that perfect deadlift session, you're never going to be in low back pain.
Yeah.
You're always going to feel in your glutes, your hammies, and a little bit in your upper back. So upper back work, snatch grip deadlifts, snatch grip rows. When you want to do more explosive row, pendulum row, then when you have to back down because you're beat up from rows, maybe just a strict row.
Yeah.
You know, and you play around with that. And also, it's real simple and basic, but do a fucking shrug. You know, it's not, first of all, it's a cool exercise, but it's so basic and everyone forgets it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
How low do your traps actually run? People think they're only up on your shoulders.
Exactly.
They run down the middle of your back. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to train those muscle groups, and when you put it all together and you figure out what your actual weaknesses are, the pull goes flying up.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Definitely, a lot of people with the Brian Shaw article that came out.
Oh my
talking
gosh,
about lifting
yeah.
and yeah, the whole wide stance for people that are, you know, like me, I'm 5'10". Like it's not gonna work. It's just completely different mechanics and
it's different leverages. It's different mechanics, and you know, I mean, I'm a towering 6'1.5".
Yeah.
So you know, and you know, so like you said, like you have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just hop on the newest trend.
Yep.
And be like, you know, it's like the rolling deadlift.
Yeah.
The rolling deadlift is great. I mean, I've done it a few times, haven't tried to master it or anything like that. But, you know, if you don't have a problem setting your hips in, why are you going to roll the bar?
Exactly. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So where do you see over the next, I don't know, next year or two, where do you see strongman going? Kind of what's your trend that you're noticing?
With me personally and granted barbell, like
the barbell,
it's I see the trend. The biggest thing I want to do is get into the schools. I think once you get into the schools, that's the key. I think the trend will grow through the high schools. I think it's growing great, as is with, you know, the older clients and, you know, just the regular clients getting turned on by the strongman. But the biggest thing is I have a lot of high school athletes, and I literally, off the cuff, they're doing the same exercise they were doing in 1970.
Yeah.
Towel benching, hang cleans, box squats, and you know, a power clean or something like that. It's the same garbage.
Yeah.
There's no progression. You have 40 kids in a weight room. You have 4 coaches. Maybe 2 of the coaches are in the office, you know, doing their playbook or whatever. So now you have 2 guys, 40 kids. You can't control the situation. Someone's going to get hurt, and it's not benefiting the kids.
Yeah.
I think if the coaches could drop the ego a little bit, let someone come in, specify, get specific with programming, teach these kids the proper way. What is the point of doing a 405-pound box squat for a 180-pound kid who can't do a body weight squat properly? Where are we missing in the thinking? What's the thinking of putting a towel on the bench and just bouncing it off our chest, killing our rotators? How does that translate into someone coming off the line? It doesn't.
It's inflation numbers to, you know, I get why coaches do it to boost morale, but you know, it's a nice short-term solution, but it doesn't have a long-term fix.
Listen, I understand team building, and I've been in situations where, you know, I have the kid and it's fine during the summer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And then it gets to the school year, and now what do I have? You know, I have a kid going to them Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yep.
Now they're coming to me, and it's like, okay, well, what'd you do?
Yeah.
Well, I deadlifted and squatted and benched all on the same day. Well, what the hell does that leave me?
Monday, Wednesday.
And oh, by the way,
yeah,
I know nothing, you know, it's not the kid's fault.
Yeah.
You watch them try to perform the exercise, and it's horrible. The form is horrible. So it's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
I would love to hold, you know, seminars, just have the coaches come in and, you know, kind of spread the word through the schools. I think that is key. I think that it'll be, you know, you get to work with an athlete when they're in 9th grade and then watch them progress all the way to a senior and get to see how awesome that is, and to know that they did it properly, to know that they did it safely, to know that these kids aren't breaking their backs and hurting their knees doing exercises with weights that they shouldn't be touching yet.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. All right, well, I mean, do you have anything else that you want to put out there? Any thoughts?
Yeah, you know, like I always say, keep it basic, have fun in what you're doing. When you got to flip the switch and compete or finish the movement, that's what you got to do. And, you know, always stay open-minded.
Yeah.
Always stay open-minded to new exercises, new ways of getting healthier. And, you know, just have fun, man. Real fucking basic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, thanks. I appreciate
All
it.
right, my man. You have a good one.
Thank you, you too. Make sure you subscribe, share this video. Anybody, if you're in Campbell, New York, around the surrounding area.
Campbell Hall, New York.
Campbell Hall, New York. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
I always think of Fort Campbell from the Army.
Yeah. Yes.
So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video on Facebook. Follow me on ZGalls on Instagram. What's your handle?
All lowercase, Granite Barbell, NY. That's the Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Brett Somerville. Then there's another Facebook, Granite Barbell. Feel free to ever email me any questions or anything like that, and I'll get to you as quick as I can.
Awesome. And make sure you guys check this out on Elite FTS and as well as YouTube. So thanks. Have a good one.